let's get started. So, because these people are ready, we charge them some money to come today. Just kidding, no fees. But let's tell the viewers, where you're from, how long you've been doing insurance for, and let's maybe start off real quick. What's been like your best year or month in production so far?
So, okay, production, what my first IMO, this sounds probably crazy to y'all. It was not over here, but like we didn't track numbers or anything like that.
Mm.
So I have I was told like the numbers weren't important. So I have no idea what I actually submitted. I know that my first full year in insurance, I got like 140 deposited, which was
Gotcha.
like so much for me because I went from making 28,000 a year and then all of a sudden I get my license and I'm like 140,
That's amazing. So, what's been your best month issue pay production when last in March so far? It's just 1 month.
issue paid. Y'all, I'm not like I know y'all have like Clark Stanley and then what's that other guy? He just spoke on one of our meetings.
Brian
I forget
Jackson.
his name. Brian Jackson. They're doing like 100, 120. I don't do all that. Okay. I think I've gotten like around 35 or 40 issue paid, which is, I mean, it's good, right?
That's
That's
amazing.
great.
So where are you from? How long have you been doing insurance for, and why insurance?
So, so I'm from Louisiana. A lot of you probably know my brother, Nick. I got into insurance. This is funny. Like whenever I was 20-ish, I would say I think someone from Primerica tried to recruit me and sold me the dream. And I was not in the best place in life at that time. I think I tried to take the test like 5 times and failed every time. That was like 10 years ago. And I couldn't figure out what I wanted to do with my life. So I was like, I'm going to go back to college and I'm going to be a nurse. That's what I'm going to do. So I started working at this hospital. I was rooming patients. I get grossed out really easy, quickly realized nursing is not for me. I have friends who were in the industry and I knew them before. And then I saw how they were doing in the industry and I was like, what are they doing? And so I messaged them and that's how I got here. Which is I never saw myself doing this,
Yeah.
right? I don't think many of us do. They're not like, I want to grow up and I want to be an insurance agent, you know? But it has been the most fulfilling and best decision of my life for
So
sure.
you got started, or you wanted to get started through a social media post. So you saw a social media post, it sounded enticing, and you got started. And that was what year, what or when?
So I just came up on 2 years of, so
Two
February made
years.
2 years. Yeah.
Man, you were scaling really fast for 2 years. So walk me through, like, I know you guys were not tracking your numbers at your previous agency, but like walk me through like your first like 90 days. Like, what did that look like?
So my first 90 days ever, y'all, full disclosure here, like when I was younger, I did not make the best decisions. So I had a pretty troubled early adulthood. So by the time I got here, I had no money. Like I remember calling my upline at the time because I got my insurance license. I was so happy about it. And I was like, I didn't even know what a lead was. I was like, why does everyone keep talking about buying leads? Like, what is that? And he was like, oh yeah, don't worry about that. I'm like, okay, whatever. So he handed me a stack of like 2 to 5 year old leads. And that's how I got started. I just called a bunch of old leads who probably hadn't been touched in a couple of years, 3, 4, 5 years. And it was a grind, right? One thing that I can say, I've always had a really, really good work ethic. So I started off thinking that like I had all of these leads and I was like, oh my gosh, all these people are so like they're waiting for my calls. They're waiting to get insurance. And I'm going to cuss real quick, but I like got my ass handed to me at first because they were, I kept getting hung up on. But part of me is grateful that I started off that way because like that's all I knew. And so it taught me a lot of like I just never gave up. And I think my first week ever in the industry, I didn't know that this was good at the time, but I had like 7 or 8 thousand in production off of 2 to 5 year old leads my first
Wow.
week in the industry, which now I'm like, that was pretty good.
That is absolutely amazing. So I guess my biggest question for you is like the mindset. Like,
Mhm.
because a lot of people come in, not the folks in this line. We got all the rock stars in this line.
We
But a
got
lot
all the
of other
good
people
ones
come
here.
to insurance like thinking there's gonna be okay. I'm gonna call through some people, make some sales, but like you came in, I'm mean, obviously probably calling to a lot of people to make sales. Like if you can go back in time and look at what you did, like what did you do differently that you see a lot of people not doing now?
I see a lot of people giving up so quickly.
Mm,
And like it's really easy to get discouraged, right? We're getting rejected pretty much all day and waiting for that like one, two, three, four yeses. And that one yes makes up for all of the no's that we get. But I see people giving up so easily. Like they'll make some calls, they'll dial for an hour or two, and then, get discouraged that no one's answering or no one wants to talk to them. And that resilience, like if you can just keep going and push through that, I know it sucks, but like it's so worth it.
but let me ask you a question though. This just it's just me and you right now. Don't
Okay,
forget
just
about
me
the
and
other
you.
people in this call, but like not forget about it. They do matter. But it's just me and you. Like, why do they stop?
That's a good question. I
In
I
your
guess like
opinion?
it's hard to see the light when you're getting rejected all day. Like, yeah, when everyone's telling you no when you're first getting started, because there's so many little tweaks that we don't know yet. There's little things that we don't know what no to say. We're not comfortable on the phone yet. We don't realize that we're going to get rejected pretty often. So I think a lot of people think it's just me. Like, I'm not good at this. Like, I wasn't made for this, without realizing that everyone who is successful in this industry has gone through that, right? Like we've all gone through just that messy middle when you're just getting started and everyone's telling you no. And you're like, why does everyone have a doctor's appointment today? Or, like everyone goes through that. And it's so easy to feel isolated because you're like, no one wants to talk to me. But I swear, like if you're new here, I don't know how many people on here are brand new to the industry. Like we've all gone through that. And I'm I'm grateful that I went through that because like that teaches you something that no one can take away from you. Right. Like that just like never giving up, continue just to keep going no matter how many times you're getting kicked down. Like nobody can take that from you
Yeah.
once you're through it.
So let's hop into like now. So now you're building a team and now you're selling. So like
Yeah.
walk me through like because everyone wants to know how many leads you're buying per week.
Y'all want to know the logistics?
They want to know the logistics of how many
Y'all don't
leads
want
you're
to keep
buying per week.
crying?
They want to know like what are you shooting for like presentation wise to do 35,000 a month, they should pay 40,000 a month, they should pay. They want to know like what's your working hours. So let's go over the leads per week, presentations per day, dollars per day. What's your schedule per week, just so people can understand the framework of what it takes to do 40,000 a month issue pay.
Yeah. So I currently spend 12.50 a week on leads. I actually plan on upping that. I don't know if anyone uses, to be super transparent, I am struggling right now. I use Scale My Social. So if you're using like anything like that, y'all all know that Meta made some changes, right? And my lead right now, I'm getting in like 4 leads. I got in 4 today. I'm used to getting like 20 leads a day. So if you're struggling, I promise it's not just you. Don't feel alone in that. But I do spend 12.50 a week. I didn't start there though, Mike. Like if we do, like we have to invest in our business. There I didn't start out like if you would have told me when I first got my license that I had to spend 12.50, I'd have been like, yeah, I'm a head out, like um I think I started off when I first got here. I was doing like 500 or 750 a week. Eventually, I realized that Sydney needs to like go off of the numbers and not her emotions, because I'm guilty of that as well. And the numbers
Wait,
told
you
me,
got you got to say that for someone in the back of the Zoom room that didn't hear it.
guys, listen. If y'all hear anything that I hear today, go off of the numbers, not how you feel. Okay.
Can you elaborate on that? Like, can you tell
Oh,
me more
yeah.
about that?
So again, I already told y'all my first year I didn't track anything. It was just like it was a free for all. Like I never knew what was happening in my business, right? That's scary because anytime you get a chargeback, you're like the world's ending, right? Oh my God, someone canceled and now I have to pay back $1,400. But if you know your numbers, you know that, okay, a certain percentage of that is normal, right? We're dealing with final expense clientele. It happens. If we're not tracking and we don't know what's happening in our business, that's scary. You don't know what's coming in, what's going out, what you're profiting, if you're profiting. Like we don't know anything. Um, so that has been such a game changer for me when I came here, actually knowing what's coming in, what's going out. Okay, if I spend this much, I get this much. And if I double that, I'll get double that.
Mhm.
Right? It's really easy to feel like we're having a bad day whenever not many people have answered. Right? But if we go off of our feelings, yeah, Emma said so simple, we complicate it. You're so right. Like we complicate it so much. That's why it's so important to look at the numbers and not how we feel. I did that for a year and a half and I would spiral almost every day and it's not worth it. um, so yeah, make sure we're tracking. That's going to save you a lot of headache, a lot of heartache. It's going to make you feel a lot more sane if you track your numbers, if you know what's coming in and out, and you won't think it's the end of the world if Sweet Miss Betty canceled, right? um,
How
so
many presentations are you trying to not trying looking to hit per day?
So I typically shoot for five. I know that if I shoot for five, statistically, I'll close like 2 point something of those, right? But like if you're brand new, your number may be 1 in 5. So I think we should be shooting for at least five. It's hard to get to five if we're not living in lead abundance. That's another thing that I wanted to touch on. Like, I know it's real if you're brand new and you're like, that's a lot of money to invest. Take it from me. Like, my mental health has gotten so much better once I started living in lead abundance, right? Because if we're dialing, like if we're trying to squeeze all of the juice out of like 20 leads, oh my God, you're gonna drive yourself crazy. Because then again, you go back to survival mode because you're like, I need to sell like I'm not, I know I'm probably going to talk to like 10 of these people. So I have to close all of them if I want to pay my rent.
Yeah.
Right.
Why do you think people only buy 20, like they buy like one-fourth of the recommended amount of leads per? Why did they do that?
Because it's scary. Right. Like if you don't
Mm.
trust the process yet, if you're brand new and some dude is like, yeah, spend $1,000 a week, you're like, what? Well, like if you don't, especially if you're like, you don't have a lot of money yet, but I guarantee you, I know it's like really, really scary, but trust me, like, listen, I don't get overrides off of any of y'all. Like, I have no reason to lie. Not that I lie to my team, but I'm just like, I have no connection to y'all. I'm telling you, your mental health, your bank account, every aspect of your business will thank you if you start living in lead abundance.
But Sydney, what are like? I tried it one or two times. I didn't see no ROI.
I would say, how many hours did you put in? And
Mm.
how many times did you call them? Because if you're living in so this is way, if you're new, this is how I picture it. This is how I explain it to my agents. I want you to picture if you're getting 100 leads a week, I want you to picture a crowd of 100 people and you're like, hey, who in here needs burial insurance? Right? How many people do you think would raise their hand? A lot of them. We know that we're not going to be able to get in touch with all of them the first week, So like we're searching for that. We're searching for those people in that crowd of 100 people that raise their hand. Like sometimes you got a picture is like we're mining for gold here, right? Or is it mining for diamonds? I don't know what the proper term is. It's one of them. I don't know.
They both sound
But
good.
like, whatever it is. But like that's how you like I picture things and that's how I picture it. So like if you tried it one or two times, how many times did you call them? Did you call them on week two? Because we will close a certain percentage the first week. And then the second week, we're going to close maybe a smaller percentage. And then the third week, we will again. So how many times did you call them? You
Yeah,
can't do it one time for a couple hours a day and be like, yeah, it didn't work out for me. I just wasted money. It doesn't work like that.
that's so
I wish
good.
it did. It'd be cool if I call everybody one time and close them, but it
That's so
doesn't.
good. That's so good. So you're now building an agency and it's called Brightside.
Yeah.
How cool. Where did that name come from?
Funny story. I could not for the life of me think of an agency name.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I don't know. I'm not doing the Desautel group, you know? So we're at this was in November at fall meet. And I'm like, okay, we'll come up with an agent. By that time, I had like 3 agents on my team. And I'm like, we need to come up with a team name, guys. And so I was going around asking everyone in Empower, like, give me some ideas because I can't come up with any on my own. And everyone was like, it needs to be like sun or like bright or like stars. And I'm like, that sounds really lame. I don't want like Sun Life Group, you know? And so I was like, I don't want any of those. And then we come back and in Slack, Dana posted something in Slack. She was like, and Sydney didn't even come back with a team name. And I was like, look on the bright side, Dana. We have a few options, right? Like I had listed a few options that people had told me. And she just said bright side financial. And that's how it happened.
Simple.
Yeah, super simple. I was like, that's it. I don't want to think
That's
about it again.
amazing. I love it. So, like, talk to me because I think that people's goals, at least some of the people's goals in this line, is to build an agency. Kind of talk to me like the transition going from an agent to an agency owner. And the talk, I guess the first question is, why did you do this? Like, why are you building a team? And like, why? And you probably find it to be very, very fulfilling showing other people how to win in this industry. Talk to me about why and like the whole journey of coaching other agents as well.
The why, like, listen, I love our clients, but I don't, to be completely transparent, I don't wake up and say, I can't wait to like protect these families today,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
My heart is in helping other agents. Like that's where I get fulfillment. I get fulfillment out of watching other people change their lives. And so, I love my clients, right? It's not to say I don't love the business because I do, but my heart is in helping other because I know what this industry has done for me in 2 years. That's just 2 years. I know what it's done for me. I would love to watch that happen to a lot of other people and to be able to be a part of that. That is what's really, really fulfilling to me.
What's been your best month or a week as an agency so far?
So like a lot of my agents, I think I have like 14 full-time agents. A lot of them are still in contracting. Um, so this month I was really, really excited because I think I have, let's see, there's Kate and there's Wendy and there's Scott's not right. There's like 4 or 5 right now that are writing business. And last month, we were able to hit 100. Well, it was like 108,000 or 109,000. I was really excited
That's
about that because
amazing.
that was my
Yeah.
first month passing 100K, and it was just a few of us. Not
Yeah.
everyone could write, so that was
Yeah.
a really big milestone for me. I was excited about that.
Yeah. Once you cross like that 150 a month, like everything changes for the agency. Like you're gonna start to have like other people want to do what you're doing as well. So now you go from like adding to multiplying. Talk to us about like being an agency owner now. Like you're now helping other people. Talk to us about like you can talk about maybe your onboarding process, your training process. Maybe talk about maybe like balancing producing and coaching. Like people have a hard
Yeah,
time balancing producing and coaching. Maybe talk about that.
that's so that was a learning curve for me. Because my primary income is personal production, right? I just recently got to a point where I'm like, okay, I can, it's okay if I don't sell, like, I'm okay, right? So, but that took time. And at first, when I first started, building, it was kind of a wake up call for me. Like, I didn't realize how much time is taken away whenever you first start building. Cause, like, I have brand new agents who have never made a call in their life. Like, Dana has a really good system. She has it set to where, she has all of these basically this launching pad that's like, okay, this is the CRM, this is the dialer, there's some carrier. She has all of that. But there's still little things, like minor things that we don't think about until someone is brand new. And I'm like, oh, wait, they need to know this. So a lot of time was taken away whenever I first started building. And it was really hard for me to find a balance, right? because I naturally want to be like, hold on, let me help you. Let me spend all my time with you and listen to your calls and let me just help you because I want to see you succeed. Like that's my first go-to. And then I realized that not everybody sticks, right? Like a lot of people give up really, really easily. I thought that everyone would be like it's, I did well my first week and then I got like in the industry, I did well my first week and then kind of got a wake up call like week 2, 3, and 4. But I like, I didn't stop and I thought everyone was going to be that way. And there was an agent who gave up after a couple weeks and I was like, why? I was so confused. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, do you know how cool this would be if you stuck it out? You know how great your life can be, you know? And so I had to learn to really be able to balance my time because I do still have to personally produce. So in the mornings, I do a one-on-one with one of my agents at 8 a.m. Central. And then we have like a team huddle at 8:30 a.m. And then I do another one-on-one at 9 a.m. And then the rest. So I try to do all of that stuff in the mornings. So the rest of my day is dedicated to dialing. And if I need to do a one-on-one that evening, that's fine too. But it took a while to figure out a schedule that works for me as far as, still being able to take time to produce, but then still be able to help my agents.
What are you doing on a day-to-day basis or weekly basis to pour into yourself so you can pour into others?
So I like that question
You like that one?
because,
I can
yeah, that
tell
was
it
a good one.
stumped you by the way
Because I
you,
struggled with this for a long time, Mike.
yeah.
Like my first year when I was at that little IMO that I told you about that wasn't that great, I worked 12, 13 hours a day. Like I did not stop. I took no time for myself. And then all of a sudden I'm depressed and I wonder why? And it's like, okay, I put my relationship with God on the back burner. I'm not moving my body, right? Like I'm not going to the gym. I'm just sitting at my desk and calling 2 to 5 year old leads and wondering why I'm depressed, you know? So, this year, the past like 6 or so, since I've come to Lasting Mark, I was like, okay, if I'm coming somewhere new, I need to make sure that I'm okay. And so okay, I have to tell you all this. This is kind of wild. But for anyone who likes to hit the snooze button, I'm going to tell y'all what worked for me because I was like, this is a non-negotiable. I need to start waking up at 5 a.m. and going to the gym and then come back, take some time with God, and then I'm going to start working. So I bought an alarm clock because like I kept snoozing my phone alarm and I wouldn't even notice that I was doing it. And then I wouldn't make it to the gym in the morning. So I bought an alarm clock. I like ordered it from Walmart one day so I ordered one from Walmart and I put it so far under my couch. Okay. So like in a different room in my house. So when it goes off, I have to like army crawl under the couch at 5 a.m. And then I have another one across the room. I have it like the time strategically mapped out. So when that alarm is going off at 5 a.m. and I'm like army crawling under the couch, another one across the room is going off. And so I'm like going to war at 5 a.m. And like, what are you going to do at that time? Like, you're awake. You're not going back to sleep. I promise you. You're going to the gym, right? So that has helped me so much. Waking up really early, buy 2 alarm clocks if you need to, put them in a different room, put it under an item of furniture that you have to like physically crawl under to wake up and move your body like first thing in the morning. And then I come home, Emma said hardcore. I wasn't born like this, I promise. I had to figure something out. And then I get back, I take some time with God, and then I start my day and I try to like read some pages of a book. And then I'm like, okay, cool. Mind, body, spirit, all aligned for 8 a.m. Let's go.
You got some great nuggets. Like I see why you're thriving on your own personal, and I see why your agency is also thriving as well. You had like you didn't get here by just randomness. You got here by like strategic. You had to go through some hard times, which defines you who you are now. How important is it to wake up at that 5 o'clock? Like I'm sure you were not always waking up at 5, probably like 6:30 or 7 o'clock before, but like now being up at 5, what has that done to you mindset wise? I told people like I'm up around like 4:30 now. 4:30 for me has been like a game changer, but I want to hear what's changed for you waking up earlier now.
So much because you start respecting yourself more because you're like, I'm getting up. It sounds so simple, but you're like, I'm getting up at the time that I've always wanted to get up. Like when I picture someone successful, I'm like, yeah, they're up by 5 a.m. They're like going move their body, right? Like so you start respecting yourself more because you're doing what you said that you were gonna do.
Mm.
And then you feel better because you're moving, right? Like we work from home, we sit at a laptop and we don't move. Like that's not healthy. When we're healthy, we feel better and we operate better. So that has changed drastically. I think just, you know, self respect wise, because I'm like, yes, I'm finally a 5 a.m. gym girl, and then secondly, I feel better because I just moved. I got a workout in and now I'm like, then I talked to God and then I like read a book. I'm like, when did this happen? But it's something about just being disciplined where you respect yourself more. And if you don't have a great sales day, like if you weren't able to help other families, you're like, I still did the things that I said I was going to do. And that's okay. So like, you're like, okay, cool. Well, it's because I did all the things that I said I was going to do.
Love it. That's so good.
Like
That's so
there's something
good.
about that mindset shift, like waking up early, moving, talking to God or whatever you choose to talk to, it does something.